Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. We are in the kitchen again, and today, a little different view. I know you've got my hood in the way, but gotta do what we gotta do. Today I wanted to try something a little different, a little fun, really yummy. One of my favorite chocolate bars are Twix bars. Now, in Canada, we can get the caramel one. Sometimes we can get the peanut butter one, but that's it. I know there's a cookies and cream one and there's other flavors. But Twix, for one thing here, it's like $2 for a single chocolate bar. A little expensive. And I thought, what if I made my own and made a big one? So we're going to cheat a bit today. We have our chocolate, good old Belgian milk chocolate that we're going to melt up in the microwave. But once that's done, we're going to melt in just another bar so that it tempers, so that we get that bite when you bite into the chocolate. It's not just sticky on your fingers. Next, we also have caramels. Gotta have caramel in a Twix. Again, like I say, I'm cheating. I bought some Werther's Original caramels. You saw the little short where I was unwrapping them all. We're just going to melt these down, add a little bit of cream, because these are a little bit chewier than a Twix is. And for the cookie part, well, we have some nice shortbread cookies. Not the same as a Twix, but these taste better. So we have everything here. So what size am I going to make? I thought I would make just a loaf, 2-pound loaf bread pan. It'll fit nicely. I measured out my cookies. They all fit. You get a nice thick layer of chocolate. Our cookies in, our caramel. Top it all off. Set it up. And then we can just cut off nice big chunks. So, like I say, we have our pot caramels here, and we're just going to do that over low heat. We don't want to do it fast. We don't want to burn it. A little silicone spatula, and actually I'm going to need the silicone for our chocolate. So to temper this, you can do it a few ways. You can do it in a saucepan, but you have to be really careful you don't burn it. You can do it over a bain-marie or a double boiler, but you have to be careful no water gets in there, otherwise it'll seize. You can always go and spend $600-700 on a chocolate tempering machine, but I'm sorry, I don't eat that much chocolate, even though it looks like it. So what I'm going to use is my microwave. Great way of doing it. Like I said, I have 3 chocolate bars in total, about 300 grams. So a little more than a cup if you're measuring out or you're using chocolate chips. And we're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. We're going to stir it, put it back in for 30 seconds till this is melted, but just melted. We don't want to get it too hot. Then we will add our final chocolate bar. Best way to break these up. Sorry for the loudness. Just beat it up while it's still wrapped. Do that a few times. It'll just make it easier and quicker. So the smaller those pieces are now, the faster it's going to melt after it's been in the microwave, and the easier it will be to temper that chocolate, which is our main goal. Now, somewhere around here, I should have another spatula. Silicone spatulas are your friend, especially when you're working with caramel. They're sticky enough as it is. As I said, we are going to add a little bit of cooking cream, and when I say a little, I added maybe a tablespoon, just so there's some liquid and, in this case, some lubrication in there. Also, the cream is going to help to conduct heat while these melt down. That's probably going to take a good 4 or 5 minutes. So in the meantime, take your splatter guard out. Forgot it was in there. 30 seconds. While that batch is going, keep an eye on that caramel. This will go and burn fast if you don't pay attention. So like I say, this I'm doing on my stove, the lowest setting, number 2. And that cream I added, I know it's a little hard to see, in fact it's impossible to see for you, is already taken on a caramel color. Our chocolate has come out. It is hot. And of course, do you think I can find a spoon? Whole house, no, 1 spoon. We have a spoon. So here, I've got to be careful because this is hot. You can see that the chocolate is melting already. That was only 30 seconds. So we just want to stir that up. Get all that chocolate off. Yum. Off of there. Another 30-second burst. Again, go back, check your caramels. These are starting to melt down. And do this just as something fun. This might be like really cool. Surprise someone with a birthday party, making him a giant chocolate bar. Our next 30-second blast is done. And as we stir it, yeah, there's chunks in there, but those chunks will disappear as we stir. Like I say, we don't want to burn this. Scorched chocolate is the devil. It's horrible. So as we stir, you can see now, woo, it's all nice and smooth. Just going to take a look at our caramel. And again, I know the lights are horrible, but we can see it's starting to melt. It's getting there. I'm just being careful, because if you get either the caramel or the chocolate on you, it's going to burn and it's going to hurt. So, the chocolate now. Where'd my cloth go? I'm just forgetting everything today. The chocolate now, as you can see, is nice and smooth. And that was 1 minute in the microwave. So now, we're going to take our other chocolate bar, the one that we went all psycho on. We're going to add a little bit of it, about half, to the chocolate and melt that in. It's not going to the microwave now. Now we're just using the heat that's already in that chocolate to melt the new chocolate. Now, I'm trying to be careful and hold the bowl with a rag because it's hot. So, when you're tempering chocolate, what you're doing is there's little crystals in there. Think of like little sugar crystals. And when you melt chocolate, you're changing how those crystals are. Well, by tempering it, by bringing it up to a heat, then cooling it down with some solid chocolate, you're reforming those crystals. Okay, our caramel is really melting up now. It's not going to take long. Right now it's going to be more just getting that cream incorporated. But we can see now, whoop, try to do this without spilling, that it is really just liquidy now. A few chunks, but those will disappear soon, so I can turn the heat on that down. Now our chocolate in here though, all the chocolate we added has melted in. So now, without getting this foil on there, because that's not good. Foil, no matter how long you cook it, just never seems to taste good. And God forbid you have fillings, you'll know. So now we've just added the last of the chocolate. So we've got 300 grams of chocolate in here. Or like I said, about a cup and a quarter. Now, if you want an extra chocolatey Twix, thicker chocolate, melt more chocolate. Simple, eh? You want a bigger, thicker layer of caramel? Go for it. Just do more caramels. This was 2 bags, by the way, of Werther's Original Soft Chewies. And I was going to use the Kraft caramels, but other than the fact their bags feel like they're hermetically sealed to keep everyone out of it, each one is individually wrapped in this plastic wrapper. And I thought it was bad unpeeling all the Werther's. Well, this plastic is so thin and such a pain, and it always sticks to the caramels. It would have been 2 hours for me to unwrap 2 bags of these. So anyways, we got one unwrapped. It'll go in. And I just think Werther's tastes better. If we're going to be honest about it, Kraft is the one we all grew up with. Kraft is the one we all did chocolate covered caramel coated apples in. One of the good things about melting chocolate, if you get it on you, it tastes good to lick it off. Now, as this starts cooling down, I'm just getting rid of the last of the chunks. There was one chunk in there that could have been smaller. This will start to set and thicken up. So we sort of have to move a little quick. Now, if you're really, really worried about tempering chocolate, you can always do the ultimate hack. Takes forever, but it works. I'm just waiting for that one last Kraft to melt, but we have our caramel to pop the cookies with now. And that is, you melt your chocolate on a heating pad. Not directly on it, in a bowl, of course, but you put your bowl on a heating pad and just keep slowly mixing it. It won't scorch because it doesn't get hot enough, and it melts at a good temperature. So, now that we have our melted chocolate, we have our 9x12. But we have to get this into here, and we have to get a layer for the base of our cookies. So, we're just going to move this camera down. Whoop. Thought maybe you'd see it better. Sorry about that. We're going back up. I really thought you'd see better. So we're just going to do a little food porn and show you some chocolate pouring on in. I'm going to pour probably about a quarter of all that chocolate in, getting up the extra because it gives me a chance to lick my fingers. And now just going to get it all over the bottom of our pan. We want to make sure it's fully coated. So take your time. And if you're unsure, add a little more. If you get some drizzles on the side, that's fine. So now we have our coated pan. Just try to get that even. And we're going to speed chill this. So I have a little freezer beside me. I got chocolate on my fingers, so that's okay. We have our caramel. And you know what? That Kraft one I added still hasn't melted. It's still a chunk. Another reason to use Werther's. They just melt so nicely. That is just gorgeous. It's molten lava right now, but it's gorgeous. So, while that chills, give it 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break and we will see you all really soon.
A few moments later.
Hey everyone, we are back. We have our nice chocolate shell, nice and firm to the touch. So now we're going to go ahead, like I say, with our shortbread cookies. Now I've already counted these out, somewhat, I don't want to say measured, but I know what I need to fit. So we're just tossing them right on top of that hardened chocolate shell. Ta-da! Just like that. If you have to break a cookie to get them all to fit, that's fine. Those ones on the side, I'm just going to space out a little bit more so that the caramel can seep into there. Now, I know on a Twix, the caramel's only on the cookie part. And here I have some gaps. You know what? I don't care. More caramel, more flavor, more yum. So, in the caramel goes. And we are going to do the same thing. We're just pouring this on top. We want to get it all over those cookies. The only difference here is we want to try and keep it off the side. Might not be possible, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's still going to taste incredible. So, all the caramel is in. I would lick the beater, but that's going to really hurt. So once again, we're just going to let that caramel, yeah, you see I'm getting it onto the sides of the pan, so we're going to have a visible layer. You know what? I don't care. So my cookies now are all covered, and I'm just going to put a rag down. Glass top stove doesn't like being banged on. Just going to give that a few taps, as you can hear. so that it does get in between those cookies. Guess where this is going again? 5 more minutes, give or take, in the freezer. So, once again, we'll see you soon. Once that, you know what, that's setting up really quick. We're going to skip a step. That's still a bit warm. That's okay. Our chocolate, though, is still nice and melted. So let's take advantage of that. Get it all. All on our Twix. And there's Normie saying hello. Barking up a storm. Probably smells a squirrel or something. Again, we're just going to a nice thick layer of that chocolate on there. I am just going to give my pan a little wipe because I've got chocolate where I hold it. So we have our Twix, we have our chocolate on the bottom, our layer of shortbreads, that hot caramel, and now our chocolate. Now it's going back in the freezer. We're going to let it be in there for about 15 minutes. Give me a chance to clean all this up because I've got junk everywhere. And we will do the reveal when it's all done. Hello everyone, and we are back. It was in the fridge. I left it in there for half an hour. I did take it out halfway just because I want to get it out of that loaf pan. I knew it was going to be really hard getting it out of this just because my luck with chocolate. If you want to eliminate that problem, and I should have said this really at the start, is to line the pan with some either parchment paper or saran wrap. So I was able to get it out. There we go. I have it on some saran wrap now just so it doesn't stick to the pan. We have a handy little knife. And let's cut off. Oh, this feels so good. The caramel is set up. The chocolate. Oh, yeah. Just look at that. We did about a Twix size bar. But you can see there's the more caramel in there. There's the thicker chocolate. Everything. Look at that caramel pull. Oh, God. Okay. Holy cow. Was foodgasm level. Between the butteriness of the shortbreads, and then the Werthers, which are always super creamy, always have that great vanilla buttery flavor. The richness of that chocolate. I used a really nice Belgian chocolate. The thick layers of everything. Nothing fought with each other. They all came through on their own, but they also all blended together so well. For a party, for treats, keep this in your freezer or your fridge. When you have that little sweet tooth, cut yourself off a piece. Like normally I can eat a pack of Twix, no problem. This though is so rich and so much more. Going with the Werthers, to me, so much better. They do add a ton of flavor to this. Wow. So good. You really, really, really have to give this a try. Quick, easy. You can even melt the caramels in the microwave. I prefer on the stove. I have a little bit more control over it. But if you don't want to heat up the house or something, super quick and easy. You can make it as big as you want. You could put it in like a big 9x12. You don't want caramel. Originally, it was going to go a layer of caramel and a layer of creamy peanut butter. Yeah. And at the last second, I was like, no, it's going to take too long in the video. But if you want to do that, take a cup of peanut butter, quarter cup of icing sugar, mix them up. You're going to have like a Reese's peanut butter. Spread that on, cover it all again in chocolate, and away you go. We are going to do more of these super-sized chocolate bars. I want to do a Mounds bar or Bounty bar wherever you are in the world. I definitely am going to make a large Reese's peanut butter cup. Playing around with some different molds to get it to fit. So until next time, if you like videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and leave me a comment. What's your favorite chocolate bar? Give me some ideas and let's see if I can supersize it or even just make it that little bit better. So until then, we will see you all again. Oh boy, is that rich. I'm about to go finish that little piece and we will see you all next time. Have a great day.